Anxiety is like a silent thief. It steals your peace, your energy, and even your health. And the worst part, most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. But what if I told you that your whole life is basically a mind game? A game that starts from within and you're the only one in control. Yes, anxiety is a feeling. We've been told science, birth, our environment made you believe it's something normal, just a part of life. But the truth, anxiety is just an illusion, and once you learn how to control it, you can live a happier, calmer life. Hi friends, how are you doing? I've missed you. Welcome back to a new episode of Call Me Warren, where we believe that every thread has a voice. Anxiety shows up when we don't know what our future holds, when we're facing the unknown, and honestly, this is question always crosses my mind. How can I actually live life the way I want? I want to let go of the beliefs that were planted in my mind by my environment ever since I opened my eyes in this world. First thing first, stress is basically your body's way of signaling that you're on the fast track to destroying your mental health. I'm not saying we should never feel it. We're human, not robots without emotion. But the real problem starts when stress becomes a daily part of your life, turning into constant pressure. At its core, stress is just fear of the unknown. But when you start feeling stressed for no actual reason, it begins to take over your nervous system. Here's an example from my own life. Back in one of my school years, I was under so much pressure that I stopped eating properly, and honestly, it was over something so silly that I can't even remember why I let myself go through that. I'd even wake up in the middle of the night with headache and neck pain while my mind was still racing non-stop. That feeling eventually became part of my everyday life. My body got weaker. I developed vitamin deficiencies and I constantly felt exhausted. I'm sharing this is because I want you to see how dangerous stress can be if you let it take over. Other people may have faced even bigger struggle with anxiety. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to control your life. Not if you learn how to manage it. Ask yourself this is as anxiety really worth losing your health and your happiness? You're capable of amazing things. You can let go of painful memory and live the life you've always dreamed of since you were a kid. That's why it's so important to learn how to manage this feeling before it becomes a constant weight in your life. And the first step is understanding why we're always afraid of the future. Why will it that fear keep you from enjoying the present moment? Most of the time, the cause lie in how we think and how we deal with life. Anxiety at its root can actually be a good thing. It pushes us to reach our goals. But it becomes a problem when it turns into a programmed habit in our brain, creating endless cycle of worry. Even simple signals in daily life can trigger the subconscious mind to link them with anxiety. For example, a job interview or an exam, Before the event, you're nervous. Then after you succeed, you celebrate with your friend, eat junk food, play games, and your brain gets a dopamine hit. The issue is your brain starts linking anxiety with success. It makes anxiety a habit you unconsciously repeat just to get that reward, and you end up stuck in this tyrant, empty cycle. Sometimes you even worry about things you normally do without stress, but your brain rewires the behavior until every action is tied to anxiety. The key to solving any problem is to first admire it and be honest with yourself about wanting to change. For example, when I didn't do well in school, it wasn't because my teachers or parents were unfair. It was because I didn't study, I just scroll on my phone, lie to myself, and pretend I was putting in the effort when I wasn't. Always remember this is anxiety is a result, not a cause. It's the outcome of certain thought, often programmed into use from a young age. Take me for example. I used it to brag about not sleeping enough, but in reality, lack of sleep was one of the biggest cause of my anxiety. Not sleeping enough ruined my focus, my eating habit, my mood, and my overall health. I'd get angry over the smallest thing, and I lost the ability to enjoy my life. I remember once I got upset over something small, ended up crying for hours, and finally just fell asleep. When I woke up, my mood was completely different. I felt this is incredible sense of calm and peace. That's when I realized I needed to cut anxiety off at its root. So, how do we do that? Fit. Trust your future to God. Tell yourself, I'm okay with wherever He gives me, and you'll feel a huge sense of peace. Knowledge. Anxiety often comes from ignorance or false belief. The more you understand something, the less cry it feels. Like for me, I used it to be terrified of coming because of bags. But once I learned how to pick the right spot and properly, the fear started to fade. Habits. Focus on your daily habits because they may be fueling your anxiety. One of the most powerful skills you can build is becoming aware of your habits and learning how to change them. Alright, friends, that's it for today. I hope you took away at least one thing, even a small insight that will help you start breaking free from anxiety. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode.